Welcome to today's Explainer. You know, losing someone is incredibly hard, but figuring out what to do next, especially when you're trying to send condolences across international borders, man, that is tough. If you're watching this, you're probably looking to support a friend, maybe a colleague or a client in Europe, and you're likely feeling a little anxious about making a cultural misstep. I totally get it. Are flowers okay? What about food? Does religion change the whole shebang? Well, as a grief specialist who practically lives to unpack the structured ways we connect with each other, I can tell you the short answer is absolutely yes. What feels incredibly comforting in one country can literally feel offensive in another. So, we're going to act as your guides today and break down exactly how to send a meaningful message of sympathy across Europe without all the stress.
Here's a quick look at our agenda today. 1. The importance of etiquette. 2. A regional overview. 3. Catholic versus Protestant traditions. 4. Islamic and Jewish customs. 5. Crucial mistakes. And 6. The Walwater solution.
Section 1. The importance of etiquette. Why cultural fluency matters. Before we even think about what to actually send, we've got to understand why this cultural fluency matters so much when someone is grieving. The foundational idea here is simple, but it is really profound. Grief is personal, but mourning has structure in every culture. When you send a sympathy gift, you're basically saying, hey, I see your loss, I'm here with you. Getting that message right in a language and format the recipient's culture truly understands is honestly way more important than the physical gift itself. Across Europe, folks express condolences through flowers, food, candles, charity donations. Your job is just to pick the right one.
Section 2. Regional Overview. Sympathy Gifts by European Region. Let's build a bit of a practical framework here. It's truly fascinating how the continent divides into these distinct, grieving vibes. Take the South, for example, places like Italy and Spain. Down there, mourning is super community-centered. It's home-focused. People gather, they eat together, so white flowers, food, and wine, absolutely ideal. But then look at the North, Germany, the Nordic countries. It's totally different, much more private, quiet, and formal. Showing up with a giant, overflowing basket of food might actually overwhelm them. Instead, a single elegant candle or a quiet charity donation is the way to go. And then we have the East, right? Orthodox countries like Greece or Romania. There, mourning is incredibly ritualistic. They have specific memorials on the 3rd, 9th, and 40th days. Traditional foods like koliva and religious icons carry immense weight in these regions.
Section 3. Catholic versus Protestant traditions. Contrasting Christian customs. So to really grasp these regional differences, we kind of have to look at the religious histories that shaped them. Even if a family doesn't consider themselves strictly religious today, the cultural hangover of these traditions still dictates how they mourn. Generally speaking, Catholic traditions love to bring the community right into the home, while Protestant traditions lean way more toward quiet, understated privacy. Let's dig into the specifics.
All right, in Catholic countries, the period right after a death really centers around the home and the church. Take Italy. White lilies and chrysanthemums are the gold standard, and food gifts like bread, olive oil, and wine are always welcome because, well, people are gathering to eat. In Ireland, wakes are just a massive part of the cultural fabric. Families gather with the body for a night or two, so sending food, whiskey, and tea, super practical and deeply appreciated. In places like Poland and Portugal, where religion is very central, things like a high-quality candle, a rosary, or dark flowers are received with so much warmth. And over in Spain, families typically receive visitors for several days straight, so sending food really helps them feed all those guests.
Now, let's contrast that with Protestant and secular Northern Europe. Huge pivot here. In Germany, funerals are highly structured, very formal. You'll want to stick to simple white or yellow flowers. Up in the Netherlands and Norway, charity donations are actually often favored over physical gifts entirely. In Denmark and Sweden, mourning is just so intensely private that a simple, deeply spiritual candle is a much better choice than some grand floral arrangement. And what about secular Europe, where religion isn't really a factor at all? The rule of thumb is, keep it simple, warm, and personal. Curated food and drink hampers, with nice tea, coffee, biscuits, those are universally appreciated.
Section 4. Islamic and Jewish traditions. Navigating minority faiths.
Of course, Europe is wonderfully diverse, and Christian traditions are really only part of the story. For Muslim communities across Europe, whether we're talking about France, the UK, Germany, or Spain, the guidelines are very, very specific. The standard mourning period is 3 days, and visiting the family is highly encouraged. So, what should you bring? Food. But, and this is a big but, it absolutely must be halal. Things like dates and honey carry very specific religious significance, along with tea and pastries. Now here is an absolutely crucial point. Avoid alcohol entirely.
I mean, not even chocolates that might contain trace amounts of liqueur. And steer clear of flashy or super expensive items. Grief is viewed as a time of modesty.
Jewish mourning follows detailed customs that are quite different from standard European norms. The family observes Shiva, which is a 7-day at-home mourning period where they receive visitors. Bringing food to a Shiva house is the most traditional gesture you can make, but it should ideally be kosher. Sweet foods, think fruits, cakes, honey, those are perfect. But pay close attention to this next point. Avoid flowers. Honestly, sending flowers goes directly against Jewish mourning tradition and will definitely be seen as inappropriate. If you want a great alternative to food, making a charity donation in the deceased's name is considered a highly meaningful gesture.
Section 5. Crucial mistakes. What could go wrong? We've touched on a couple of things to avoid, but let's gather them all in one place. You might be sitting there thinking, I'm sending a gift out of the goodness of my heart. How could that possibly offend anyone? Well, remember, when people are grieving, they're incredibly vulnerable. A gift that violates their cultural norms doesn't just, miss the mark. It can accidentally add a lot of stress or discomfort during what are already their hardest days.
So let's look at the most common faux pas. First up, sending red flowers. Across much of Europe, red strictly means romance. It's not for sympathy. Stick to white, cream, or yellow for sure. Second, alcohol for Muslim families, as we just discussed. Absolute no-go. Third, and this one is wild, sending potted plants with soil to Italy. Some older Italian families actually consider soil-based plants incredibly unlucky to receive as gifts. Who knew, right? Fourth, sending carnations to a Greek family. In Greece, carnations are thrown at celebrations and parties. They are the literal opposite of a condolence flower. Fifth, bright, cheerful packaging. It just feels out of place and a bit tone-deaf. And finally, delaying. In many cultures, condolences are expected within a few days of the death. Waiting weeks, that's a major misstep.
Section 6. The Walwater Solution. Send comfort with confidence. Okay, if you're sitting there taking notes and thinking, wow, this is a lot to remember, and I am literally terrified of accidentally sending soil to Italy or party flowers to Greece, just take a deep breath. The brilliant news is that you don't have to be a cultural anthropologist to send the perfect gift. This is where Walwater Gifts comes in. They specialize in expertly curated sympathy boxes designed specifically for delivery across Europe. And the best part? They already understand all of these intricate traditions.
Their process is ridiculously simple and just takes the guesswork entirely out of your hands. Step 1, you choose a culturally appropriate hamper. They have amazing options with high-quality tea, kosher or halal food, beautiful candles. Step 2, you add a personal message. And I really want to emphasize this based on our sources. A handwritten note or personal card is non-negotiable. In some cultures, that card matters more than the actual gift itself. Step 3, Walwater delivers it quickly to dozens of European countries, ensuring it arrives right within that crucial few-day window we talked about.
So if you find yourself needing to send a message of comfort to a client, a colleague, or a friend across the Atlantic, you can order these culturally sensitive sympathy baskets directly at sendgiftsineurope.com. Their team curates gifts that focus on warmth and practicality, ensuring your gesture speaks the exact right language for the recipient's culture. It's a real game changer.
We'll wrap up our explainer today with this thought. Grief crosses all borders, but the way we comfort each other is wonderfully unique to our cultures. Taking the time to understand whether someone needs a warm, food-filled wake or a quiet, private candle, that is the ultimate sign of respect. So the next time words simply aren't enough, how will you show someone that you truly understand their loss? Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this structured look at European mourning etiquette leaves you feeling totally prepared to connect meaningfully with those who need it most.